Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into something that honestly blew my mind the first time I came across it. Did you know the Qur'an, revealed over 1,400 years ago, actually talks about the origins of life? Now some people hear that and say, wow, that's incredible. This must be divine knowledge. Others dismiss it as coincidence, or maybe even just poetic language. But here's what really made me pause. Some of the world's top scientists, people who dedicated their lives to logic and evidence, read these verses and were so convinced they actually changed their beliefs. For example, Professor Keith Moore, one of the most respected embryologists in the world, was stunned by what he found in the Qur'an. Dr. Gary Miller, a Christian theologian and mathematician, concluded it couldn't have come from man. And Dr. Maurice Bucaille, a physician and author, spent his life exploring the harmony between the Qur'an and science. So, what exactly did they see? What's so powerful about these verses that they could convince experts who weren't looking for religion in the first place? That's what we're going to explore today. And to make things even more interesting, we used AI to analyze these verses through the lens of modern science. What we found may surprise you, and it might even challenge the way you see life itself. So stick with me. This is going to be worth every second. Let's set the stage. Today, science has revealed incredible things. We've mapped the human genome. We understand DNA. We can look inside the womb with ultrasound and even watch cells divide under a microscope. But in the 7th century, none of that existed. No labs, no microscopes, no systematic science. The womb was a total mystery, completely hidden from human eyes. And yet, in that same era, the Qur'an described human development in ways that sound strikingly close to what science has confirmed today. So here's the question: how? Let's start with one of the earliest descriptions. The Qur'an says, "He created man from clay like pottery." 55:14. Back then, people explained human origins with myths. But the Qur'an connects us to the earth itself. Modern science now shows our bodies are built from the very same elements found in soil: carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, calcium, iron, you name it. These are the raw ingredients of life. So was this just poetic language or a surprisingly accurate observation for the time? Another verse makes an even bolder claim: "And we made from water every living thing. Will they not then believe?" 21:30. Think about it. 1,400 years ago, nobody understood biology at this level. Yet today, science says life absolutely depends on water. About 60% of your body is water. It's the medium for nearly every chemical reaction in your cells. And it's not just humans. Every living thing, from plants to bacteria, relies on water. So how did a book revealed in the desert to people with no labs or microscopes make such a sweeping and accurate statement? The Qur'an also talks about gender determination. And he created the two mates, the male and the female, from a sperm drop when it is emitted. 53:45-46. Here's why that matters. For centuries, people thought the mother determined the baby's gender. Some believed it came from the womb, others from diet or even the stars. The father's role wasn't seen as decisive, but the Qur'an points directly to the sperm. And today we know it's the sperm that carries either an X or Y chromosome, literally deciding whether the child is male or female. That wasn't discovered until the 20th century, yet the Qur'an said it over 1,000 years earlier. Now let's look at the Qur'an's description of the stages of development inside the womb. We created man from a drop of fluid, then as a clinging clot, then a lump of flesh. We made the lump into bones, then we covered the bones with flesh, Then we brought him forth as another creation. 23:12-14. Breaking it down. The drop of fluid. Fertilization starts with sperm and egg. The clinging clot equals the embryo attaches to the uterine wall. The lump of flesh equals the early embryo as it grows. Bones, then flesh. Science confirms bones form first, then muscles wrap around them. This isn't vague poetry. It's a sequence that matches modern embryology. Greek physician Galen did write about development, but his descriptions were incomplete and often wrong. For example, he thought muscles and bones formed at the same time. The Qur'an, however, matches what embryologists like Sadler and Moore have confirmed in recent times. Here's another striking verse. He creates you in the wombs of your mothers, creation after creation, within 3 layers of darkness. 39:6. Modern embryology recognizes 3 protective layers: the abdominal wall, the uterine wall, the amniotic sac. These layers completely shield the embryo from view and provide safety. The Quran's phrase, 3 layers of darkness, is a vivid description that aligns with what science has revealed. Okay, but what if these were just guesses? What if they happened to be right by accident? That's where AI comes in. We asked it to calculate the probability of describing these stages correctly without scientific tools. Describing even one hidden stage, like the embryo clinging to the womb wall, less than 1%, describing multiple stages in the correct order, plus gender determination by sperm, plus the role of water, plus the 3 protective layers, less than 1 in 100 million. In other words, practically 0. No dissections, no microscopes, no imaging technology could have given this knowledge in the 7th century. So where did it come from? This is exactly why some of the greatest minds were astonished by these verses. Professor Keith Moore, a leading embryologist, said the Quran's descriptions were so precise they could only have come from God. Dr. Gary Miller, a Christian theologian and mathematician, concluded the Quran couldn't be authored by man. Dr. Maurice Bucaille, who wrote the Bible, the Quran, and science, studied these connections for decades and came to the same conclusion. For them, the evidence was so compelling it changed their entire worldview. So let's step back. We've looked at verses that describe humans being created from clay, life depending on water, gender determined by sperm, detailed stages of embryonic development, and the 3 layers of protection in the womb. All revealed in the 7th century, long before anyone could have known these things scientifically. So what do you think? Were these just lucky guesses? Borrowed ideas from earlier philosophers? Or could they really be signs, evidence of knowledge beyond human reach at the time? The Quran itself invites us to think about this. Indeed, and that are signs for people who think. 30:21. And maybe that's the point. It's not about forcing belief. It's about giving us reasons to stop, reflect, and ask deeper questions. If this video got you thinking, do me a favor, hit that like button, share it with someone who'd find it interesting, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think these scientific connections are coincidence or something greater? And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the Quran, AI, and the mysteries of science. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious.